Hello. Ready for a gorgeous, juicy exploration? Looking forward for our conversation today. So, this is all about orgasmic life, orgasmic business. What does it mean to have an orgasmic business or have orgasmic energy inside of your business? What would that look like? How could it feel? What are the possibilities? What are the resistances as well? One of the things I've noticed with working with clients for many, many years is that there's definitely a connection between how they relate to their, I'm going to say sensual, so that Facebook doesn't do anything with their algorithm. Sexual. With their own sensual energy. How they approach that, their feelings about it, their willingness to connect and cultivate with that, how they feel, their visibility. Also, body image is a really big one. How body image relates to their own sensual expression, not just in the bedroom, but also in life. Absolutely transfers into how they run their business, how visible they'll allow themselves to be, how much pleasure that they'll allow themselves to have in their life, how they handle sensation, high sensation of joy and pleasure, and overflow, and lots of clients coming in, and lots of attention, and high sensation of perhaps not experiencing as much pleasure of the other side of the coin, that things perhaps not working the way that they would like, difficult conversations that they need to have, and this sort of thing. So pop me a message in the chat box. I'd love to hear from you. If this is the first time you've ever come across me live, then please do say. I'm trying to get comfortable without keep moving the laptop all the time. I'm Jay Diamond. I am a dating and love coach, and I help women who are 35 plus, purpose-driven women, to clear deep energetic love blocks so that they can ignite their feminine power, triple their confidence, and naturally attract and keep their soulmate. So I have lots of different online courses. I have some one-to-one spaces where I work with people over 3 months or 10 days, this kind of thing. And one of the big things that I found is that when I work with a woman to help them unlock love in their life, as a side effect, they often increase their income, their monetary income increases, they find themselves getting rebates, money back, money off, houses sold when they were stuck on the market for 6 months or more, gifts coming in, changes in their business, promotions at work, like lots and lots of different things, which has been amazing to see over the years. And so I haven't really talked a lot about this until recently, because what I've found is there's absolutely this connection between unlocking the energy of love in your life. And of course, for purpose-driven women, for heart-led entrepreneurs, your heart is inside of your business. Your business is your spiritual expression and part of your spiritual evolution. We can't pick these things apart. They're absolutely correlated. I'm just going to try and move this because I feel like the phone is moving. I've got everything balanced and it was just not a good idea. Sorry. So, where to begin? So I'd love to offer some orgasmic business readings for you. If you would like to receive an orgasmic business reading, share this video, write shared in the comments, and then give me a little idea about what's happening for you regards where you want to grow your business, where you want to create more pleasure, And we'll have a look at like how the orgasmic energy, we can bring that more into your business and into your dating life and relationship. So as I was saying, the more we have a healthy relationship with our orgasmic energy, the more we are available to receive on all levels. So whether that's attention from a partner, whether that is, to receive income and to receive soulmate clients. So I focus on soulmate clients because I help my clients to increase love in their life, which means that they create a business that they love. We can all have any kind of business that we desire, but it's a different kind of energy to create a life that reflects love, that reflects your heart, and that includes your business. Like, how can you experience more love, pleasure, joy, freedom inside of your business through creating connections with soulmate clients, through being able to receive soulmate clients? So if I share with you, what does it look like when orgasm is inside of my business? Hey, what does it look like when orgasm is inside of my business? Instead of just being strategy based and like, okay, I've got this to-do list and I love a to-do list. Hey, darling, I love a to-do list. But sometimes it's like following the energy, and this is the same with the orgasm. So your orgasm tends to move. It's not at the same place on your body part, right? Every time you go back to connect to the orgasm, in the same, let's say, self-pleasure or sensual connection that you're having with somebody, the orgasmic energy can ride and move through the body, through the genitals. And so when you learn to stay connected, the orgasm comes from staying connected to the electrical impulse of the orgasm, right? And so when you allow that orgasmic flow to move through your business, what that looks like is, where is the electrical impulse taking me? Like, where is the strength of the energy available for me right now that is going to create more power, more breakthrough, more expansion, more pleasure, more joy? So what we can do is we can kind of get stuck in the work in our business. It's like, this is all the stuff that I've got to do, and we don't allow ourselves to experience an energy of pleasure within the business. And so it becomes more like, toil and, all the things that we have to do, but we take the pleasure out of it. So then what happens is, in terms of soulmate clients, we're a vibrational match for those people who are, in the struggle, who are, working very hard, but not getting very far very fast. When you allow pleasure into your business, it shifts the kind of clients that you attract, because you're on fire, you're expansive, you're in pleasure, and so it becomes more desire-based. So when you're attracting clients from a place of desire-based energy, what that means is they're choosing from a place of expansion. And so the clients that you are pulling in on an energetic level, before you do the physical work of, writing your post, writing your emails, all that kind of stuff, everything has an energetic basis. So when you're allowing more pleasure into your business, and, we can call that orgasmic energy. We can have literal orgasmic energy. We can have pleasure as an orgasmic life force in the business. When that is alive inside of the business, the clients that you're calling in are not the clients who are dragging their heels, who don't want to pay, who are always behind on the tasks that you're giving them, whatever your business is. They're in a space of desire and pleasure and openness, and they're choosing to invest in themselves and invest with you from a place of pleasure. And what that means is the realm in which you play with your clients becomes fun and joyful. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't do any deeper work. Of course you can, But it's from a higher energetic space where you can go and dip into that shadow work, where you can dip into those places that are difficult or feel uncomfortable, but you don't have to stay there. And the energy can flip into desire and pleasure again. So for me, let's say this morning, an orgasmic business looks like I've got this list of things to do, but my energy was not naturally going towards doing the list of things. Now, sometimes it does, and it's great. And I sit down and I put my headphones on and I'm just banging things out one after the other, boom, 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 boom. And it fucking feels great. And that's how I know that's the right energy to do, because it feels really good. Let's say the orgasmic energy is there in that it feels so very rewarding. Does this make sense? Yet for this morning, what orgasmic looks like in my business was having a bath with frankincense and rose, salts, these new bath salts that I've got, being on the phone to the bank, drinking my cacao while I'm in the bath, taking it slow. And then, there was a lot of energy in my body this morning. So I was dancing before I even sat down. I was dancing and I was speaking out. So I'm delivering tomorrow. I've got a course called Living, Breathing Feminine, which is having an amazing effect on the women inside of that container. And so I could feel all this stuff channeling through. And I just was like talking it around my front room. I did a workout this morning. I was dancing this energy because all of this strong energy was moving through me. Now, if I'd have sat down to just do this list of things in that energy, it's not productive. It's like pulling teeth. I probably would have got hardly, when you're doing like busy work and you're not actually getting through it, you're doing it, but it's not the best of your capability. Whereas like, let's say I get off this call, I could probably do the whole thing like an hour. I dance a lot before work. Yeah. And it's really good for moving your energy, or for raising your energy, or for moving stuck and stagnant energy, right? Dance and movement for me is a really good way to do this. So that's how, for me, like the orgasm looks inside of my business. So, in the same with dating, how does this relate to our love life? Well, what do we do when our relationship gets stagnant, or our dating life feels a bit stagnant? Like, we need to move the energy to keep the orgasm brewing. We move our own energy. We do something different if we're usually doing the same thing and it's not working. Where is the energy taking you? And it's not always a direct route. Sometimes the energy is taking you to move down for a couple of days. Like if you think about the way that you make love, you can have a wonderful time in a certain energy, but you don't necessarily want it the same way for the entire lovemaking session. If you go from like a high energy to a deep and slow grind, and then back to a high again, then the variety of the sensation is what opens the orgasmic pleasure. Does that make sense? So it's like when we can know that these ebbs and flows and shifts and changes happen within our business, and allow for that, and just be present with it, not fight it, and enjoy it, then the energy shifts again. Same with dating. Sometimes you like chat, and then there's a lull, or there's a shift of energy. So one of the big things that I work with women in my programs is, they can feel when the energy's changed, the connection might have changed between them and a partner, and the desire is to push, is to chase, is to find out, why have you not in contact anymore? What's gone wrong? Or to be moody, not to say anything, but to actually just be moody, so that when they come back, you punish them emotionally. You don't say anything. You tell them, you're like, if you can't work it out, I'm not interested in you. So you actually look passive aggressive. So the way that this shows up in business, hey darling, the way that this shows up in business is like, where's the clear communication? Where's the allowance for the energy to kind of shift and easy for me to say, shift and flow through the relationship, and have the trust that everything is working out the way that it should, that you both have the power to stay in communication, i.e. on the spot, i.e. on the orgasm. And that you can both follow that orgasm to completion. And this is a relating exercise. So, in the early stages with a client and soulmate clients, part of you being in that orgasmic energy is showing up to flirt, online or in your networking, which means that you make yourself available to speak to people. And the orgasm isn't shy. The orgasm knows what it wants and shows what it wants. So it's not like showing up online, doing something quickly and then hopping off again, or only doing the very bare minimum. Like, orgasm will show up in its glory and say, what do I have to share? What's the overflow for me today? And so when you're meeting your interactions and you're meeting yourself and you're meeting your business like that, then you come from a place of overflow. We're together. So if you want a reading, share this video, write shared, and then give me a bit of information and I can give you a reading. And if that doesn't happen, I'll just keep talking for a bit. So where we are not making space for pleasure in our lives, doesn't have to be of a sensual pleasure, but just general spaciousness, downtime, doing what feels good. It creates a hustle. Thank you. It creates a hustle and toil within our business energetic. And so what we want is like when we can raise our own energy. If you want a reading, a soulmate client reading, Kat, then you can just write that and give me any information that you have or desire, and then I can tune in. You can connect to your potential clients from overflow, or your current clients from this space of being full, from this space of like I have enough and I'm providing for myself. Because when we're in this state of like lack, and I need you to fulfill me, I need you to fulfill my desires, i.e. pay my rent, pay my car, pay my child-minding fees, the energy of that pushes away because it's not based on desire, it's based on lack. And so that's why when I'm so glad you're loving this. So that's why when we tune into pleasure for pleasure's sake for ourselves, even though we might have all of those things going on, what happens is you shift your energetic. Okay, I'll tune into that, Cat. You shift that energetic so that you can create a deeper trust inside of yourself. And how that relates to your soulmate clients is that your soulmate's clients trust you to lead when it's easy and when it's tough, when business is fat and when business is thin. It's like being the woman who leads herself in pleasure. It's like it's personal power instead of circumstantial power. I've got chills going all up my body. And so the more that we can tune into what's my personal power, i.e. what's my commitment to myself and my love and my pleasure, even though the business might be going like this, or might be going up and up and up and up and up, but as we new level, new devil, right? It's like as your business expands and grows, and we all know this, we have different things that we have to handle, whether it's people's expectations, it might be a change in your client group, it could be, your pricing is different, so the old clients are not going to pay the new rate, and you have to kind of hold that space for the new clients to come in. Now, in that space, it's like the energetic before the orgasm. So I know for me, sometimes when I'm going in a deep orgasmic space, I can go into a place of silence, deep silence before climax. And there were times when I didn't allow myself to do that, or I didn't communicate it with a partner, and so they thought something was wrong. And so they would change something, and you know that when you're about to climax, you don't want anything. You're like, stay the same, don't change, don't move. Why have you changed? It's gone now. And so when I look at this energetic, it's like trusting myself enough to hold the space and to know that it's okay and not be performative, i.e., this is what you think should happen. So I'm going to change my whole energetic setup, and then, and then everything kind of goes out of whack. So without the communication and without the self-acceptance that this is the stage that I'm in, this is where I'm at right now. I'm in the space before the climax, i.e., before you get the money in for the launch, before, you line up all the retainers, as you're changing you're going to the next level in your business and your client base is changing. There's this space. There's this silence, right? And there's this temptation to think, oh my God, is something wrong? Where if you are in acceptance of this is where it is, and you can maintain communication in one way or another with yourself or with your audience, then you glide into the climax without fucking it up, and without the orgasm dropping, or without somebody dropping the ball or doing something different. Does that make sense? And so, business-wise, holding that space for yourself and for your business is the orgasmic build-up. Basically, this is me. Yeah, it's the orgasmic build-up. I'm trying to get the right words before the climax. And so the trick is to allow that. And so, like, instead of trying to fill the space, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do the other. Like, all of this is coming from panic and lack, and all of that is just to allow the space to be where it is and allow it, like, the energy to come in by following the plan and allowing the climax to happen. And then you're in this cyclical place, and then you might ebb and flow, and then it's towards the next piece of pleasure. So let me just tune into your cat about marrying tech, business, and energetics. So the first piece that's coming up is like your embodiment of doing that and sharing that is the how. It's like it will naturally come together as you choose to share your journey with that. Because there's the business. So, sorry, let me just rewind. The energetics is the foundation. The business goes on top. It's a threesome. Basically, what you're talking about is how to navigate a threesome. And a threesome can be very beautiful when the energy, as if someone's just knocked at the door. Hold on. I'm going to come back and talk about the threesome. I'm very sorry. Hold on, wait there. Don't go anywhere. As if I left you on a cliffhanger. Okay, let's go back. So, this is so good. You're talking about navigating a threesome, right? So, threesomes can. So, from a tantric perspective, the threesome or any group sex experience actually massively increases the energetic experience of each person present. Now, the fundamental principle of any threesome or group sex experience is the foundation is respect. That each person has respect for the other, and there's good communication between all people, and that there can be an allowance of different energies. So with tech, business and energetics, you've got three things that appear to be extremely different, but in terms of bringing them all together for your business, they're all going in the same direction. They're all providing an experience for you. They're all providing an experience for the client. So the first piece is that to know that each piece of those is different and has a different way to maybe communicate their needs and expectations. So I hope you're following me. You know, the energetics, of course, looks different to the business, the tech, and, you know, energetics looks different to business and tech. However, like all pieced together, it creates power. And that's the piece where the marriage happens, is the expression of power. And that's what you want to talk about and share and learn to embody in yourself. So the first piece is you embodying this for yourself. Like you need to be first your own experiment. And so when you are embodying that and you've got that and you're using that, then you open the space to share that on a deeper level. Does it make sense? So the threesome aspect is that there's communication between the two and understanding that each will communicate in a different way, and that's okay. And it's about not making it good, bad, right or wrong. But this is the language of tech, and this is the language of business, and this is the language of energetics. And how can we share with respect and make all of this come together to create this incredible sandwich, right? And the foundation is always the energetic piece. The business goes on top of the energetics, and then it's the tech on top of that creates something else. But it's like you can have the business and the tech, right, together, amazing. But if the person's energetic is that they're in fear, the person's energetic is that, as we've talked about, you know, their relationship to body, sex, you know, visibility, is that they don't want to be visible. You're not going to have the same result as with someone who's ready to be visible, you know, ready to pop, and those sort of things. So working on the energetic piece alongside everything else is like the magic. You know, that's the mindset, the energy clearing, the, you know, whatever it is that you want to use with the mindset work is what will provide like a bit of a secret sauce for the client. So I hope that's helpful for you. Anyone else want a reading? So I can see, Lou, that you've shared you want a reading. You can just tell me a little bit and I'll tune in. I like that threesome example. So when it comes to our love life, you know, again, it's coming from this place of desire and fulfillment that we can put into ourselves, which is fulfilling ourselves with orgasm, life force, like what's pleasure for us first. And when you're in that space, dating becomes much easier because you're not attached to the next person. You're not like, oh my God, went on a date and didn't really fancy him, and you have a wonderful life all of its own. Your life is incredibly orgasmic, so you're not attaching yourself to people all the time and like in this space of disappointment because you already live an orgasmic life. A guy's just going to add to that. And of course, with that kind of vibrational energy, the right match comes in a lot quicker. How do I work through that silence before I orgasm in business and life? Brilliant. So one of the things I really recommend for you would be to take the dating and relationship communication masterclass. This is a feminine communication technique where you, first of all, here's the piece. So the first piece for me was that I hadn't actually fully realized that the depth of orgasm could come in the silence, because I had a trained mind that was in tension. So there's like, as you're building up to orgasm, we can have this tendency to really tense our body, and it's like tense, everything's tensing, and then the release. But there's another way, which is to allow, which is to breathe in, which is to soften, which is to relax. And so this is the energy that's coming through for you. Is like, I feel like, and often, this is how we used to do in business. It's a more masculine paradigm, which is the push, the tension, the pressure. We tend to put ourselves under pressure because we make an association that I work well under pressure. So we put ourselves under the pressure, and then we work well. And so we say, see, the brain says, see, that's what works. I'll put myself under pressure again. So it's noticing the places and spaces where you do that. The dating in relation communication class will help you to communicate. So the piece is to communicate before you go into the silence, which could just be, I'm taking a few days off with my kids, or I'm taking a few days off to regenerate. And what you're doing then is you're teaching your clients that this is how I choose to value me, and the quietness is okay, and I'll be back. Because while you're going into that deeper space, you will come back with whatever it is that's been bubbling under the surface, right? So the climax of whatever it is you have to offer. And so it's almost like training your audience. That's the wrong thing. Like, your audience are very intelligent, but they just need your communication. Okay, so I'm not going to be around for the week. When I come back, I've got some things brewing. I can't wait to share them with you. And so it's the same in life. When you're communicating with people, and let's say you know that you need that kind of downtime or switch off time to completely unplug, is that you say, hey, this is a need that I have, and I need to completely unplug for a few days, and I'll be back in touch with you. And what helps with people is if you give them a when. I'll be back in touch with you on Thursday. I'm going to completely unplug till then, and I look forward to talking with you. What that does is it just lets them know that this is nothing to do with you. This is something that's for me, and I'm honouring that. And so the more that you allow yourself, like choose to honour your ebbs and flows, the more that you kind of set the space that other people can do that too. Now, they might not be used to it. I mean, even now, it's like, I know that a lot of guys aren't used to women being very expressive in the bedroom, because unfortunately, not all women are. More now than ever. But to be like so radically true to yourself can only bring in the right people and release the wrong people, and it's having the willingness to allow that to happen. And that's how you get to soulmate clients, because your soulmate clients will be all right with it, because they're probably more of an energetic match for you. So the conversation is like, how do we make this work together so that we come together in our up cycle and we allow ourselves to have our down cycle too. And also what will work for you in terms of business is showing and sharing, because what I'm hearing is like, you just need a little bit more. I think you do really well with this, but I think there's a little bit more of deep rest that you could allow. And so it's not like you have to document every bit of your journey. This is me resting. But to share that with your audience gives your audience permission to do the same, and will actually call in more of your soulmate clients. Hope that's helpful. So I've got for those of you on the replay as well, I have a 3-day free, it's free now, but it's going to be it's a paid for masterclass that I'm allowing free access for the first round. And it's called The Sweet Spot. And we're going to go much deeper into all of this over 3 days. Love, sex and soulmate clients. So I'll put the link in the comments. You're welcome. It's so much easier to understand listening to the way you put things in perspective. Thank you. You're welcome. So that's how we can create more of the orgasmic life. Orgasmic life is then orgasmic business, is orgasmic relationships. That's what healthy, sexy love is. Unlocking the heart and allowing that to move through our relationships, allowing that to move through our business, and being aware to, okay, so where am I disallowing my own flow? Where am I disallowing, where am I blocking my relationships because I, in my head, start to have these conversations about, as we all do, these arguments I'm going to have, or this could go wrong, or that could go wrong, or if I take on this kind of client, this could happen, or that can happen. What we're doing is we're energetically disallowing our love to flow, our business to flow, and we're blocking our availability to soulmate clients. We're blocking our availability to love because of all the fear that's in the way. So when we kind of bring our energy and attention back to fulfilling myself, what does an orgasmic life look like for me? And it's keeping the finger on your own pulse, your own orgasmic pulse. Where am I off my own orgasmic pulse? Where am I off my own practices? It doesn't mean that you have to do all this energy management of I've got to do an hour's yoga and a 10-hour meditation and a run and all of that is energy management, rather than just being in an energetic place of pleasure. So what we want is an energetic life that reflects pleasure. And sometimes some of those management techniques can help. But, there are times where our finger is off the clit. And we're like, why am I not having an orgasm? And your finger's on your earlobe instead. You're hustling, you're stressing, you're panicking, you're in negative frameworks and thoughts. And what would put you right is the thing that lights you up, which might be dancing or singing or going for a walk or playing with your kids or having an orgasm in the bath. Right? That's you putting the finger back on your orgasmic pulse and bringing your energy back. And then that just naturally feeds into your business and sends it out. And then it's the trust that what you're sharing is enough for the clients that are an energetic match for you right now. And so when you can choose, I am enough. I'm enough for the clients who are a good match for me right now, and we can all elevate together. And some will and some won't, and all of that's okay. And I'm willing to just be where I'm at. Magic starts to happen. I've recently unlocked my heart and it's amazing, but I have doubt in that silence before the orgasmic life. Yeah, so that's where the trust comes in. And that's where the following of the orgasm comes in. So it doesn't mean that we do nothing. Sometimes we are we're just I just want you to receive and relax. That can be the orgasmic instruction. What I need to do is relax more, feel more, pleasure more, experience more, and then follow the swell of the orgasm. Which means, it will take a turn at some point and you follow that, but it's about following the inspired action. So that doesn't mean that we don't ever take no action in that silence period, if that makes sense. And that we just hope and pray that the orgasm's going to come. Sometimes you might need to adjust left a little bit. It's oh, okay. And that will, as you're more in tune with yourself, that's when you'll get those little inspired nudges. And you just take the next nudge, and then the next nudge, and then the next nudge, and then everything opens up. Affirm, I am enough. Yeah, and that's the real big thing, because sometimes we can have things and we think, oh my God, my life looks like this. And, how is love going to happen when, I've got this happening and that happening and this baggage and this to manage. And so what we can actually do is choose by choice. This adds to my lovability. This makes me more lovable, not less. This makes me more attractive, not less. Like my baby will, often, most times when she knows this is on live, don't know how she knows I'm talking away, all of a sudden she wants my attention. She's there at my side. I think people must think I don't feed this child. I do feed her regularly. I feed her very well. She's a very well attended to child. But I just pick her up and I trust that my soulmate clients value connection to family. That those people who love me and those people who are coming into my life value me as a mother, not just the all singing, all dancing, dating, love, biz coach, Not just the woman who can put on false eyelashes and show up or whatever, That everything I am and everything I have through my choice actually adds to my vibration, adds to my attractiveness on a soulmate level, on a love level. And that all of it is for my good. And when we can allow that, and by choice, because it has to be a choice sometimes, when I can allow that by choice, it unlocks the orgasmic energy. So it's like when we're in our heads, we don't orgasm because we're too busy thinking, well, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Am I doing it right? Is he doing it right? Where's the relationship going? And we cut off our own orgasmic flow, and then we can't orgasm. It doesn't come because you're in your head and not your body. Same with the soulmate clients. When am I going to get my clients? Am I doing it right? Is it okay? Do I need to try harder? Perhaps I should send them another email because they probably didn't read the last one, or probably need to do another live and another post, and this energy is like push. Texting this guy that you've not heard from. Hi, just wondering if you got my last message. Of course you got your last message. And so, some of the women I see, like, they have this story, he didn't get back to me, and if he was really liked me, if he was a man, if he was masculine, he'd pursue me every day and he'd be texting me. I'm like, bitch, aren't you busy? Have you got a job? And you got anything else to do? Have you got no hobbies? You shouldn't be looking at your phone every minute of every hour of every day. When is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? Because that energy pushes it away. Love, money, business, sex, orgasm, the law. Now, when you really like someone, it's harder, is it not? When you've got the temptation of this incredible client that is like, you are a soulmate match for me, and they want your top level, offering, and they're on the peak. Oh, are they going to come? Are they going to not? But the more when you chase, they run. When someone chases you, someone started chasing you in the street, what would you do? You'd run. So would I. So it's trusting that you're enough, deciding that you're enough, and also trusting other people to know that when something is right for them, that they can come to you. And then it becomes this beautiful relationship of two powerful people, rather than I've got to convince you to love me and love my work. I've got to convince you that even though I'm a single mom, even though I'm always on the move, I'm still a good person, I've still got a lot to give, still got a lot to offer. No, this is my incredible life, this is my incredible work, this is my incredible heart. And it's a perfect energetic vibrational match for the right person. And, we do our inner work. We take radical responsibility. We work on our communication. We work on our emotional intelligence. We work on our own personal power. We decide that our personal power comes from us and not from the people around us. Hi, Sin. Hi, Martina. Hi, Lisa. Are we together there? So, any more questions? I feel kind of complete. So following the flow in your business, following the flow in your life, allowing yourself to stay on the electric impulse of the orgasmic energy and follow that in your business. You know? Yes, sometimes we have other tasks that isn't our favourite thing to do, but we can follow the electrical impulse. It becomes easier to do the other stuff. Or we outsource the other stuff. We come back to it when we feel more in alignment with it. It opens up. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. It would have just been such a drag if I'd have tried to go through all that list. And it's a list I'm excited about going through. Like I said to you, I like lists. I like doing those things. But the energy it's like there's a build-up of something in the body that needs to be worked through first. And I am committed to my own pleasure. So, you know, having a bath for me is quite the luxury, because you can imagine with a 1-year-old, it doesn't happen very often. So giving that to me, to myself, in the working day, on the day I've got childcare, I would never have done that a few years ago. No way. I'd have hopped in and out the shower as quickly as possible, tied my hair in a bun, and got down to work. But what's the energetic foundation? So in the Radiant Love program is all about the energetic foundation. What's the foundation on which your life and love and business is built? Is it hustle? Is it fear? Is it lack? Or is it love? Is it joy? Is it pleasure? Is it trust? Is it personal power? Because that's what enables you to hold the silence toward the orgasm. That's what enables you to follow the energy, if it goes like this, all the way to the climax. That's what enables you to communicate. Survival at times. Yeah, of course, we've all been there. And so it's like moving out of that. Shift your dynamic with your clients, because when you're in that energy, you attract clients in that energy, and it's not a very happy experience sometimes. Pleasure, 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 pleasure. And then pleasure, and then relaxation, and then loving myself, and then knowing I'm enough, and then. So we're doing work that has impact instead of just busy work. And that's how everything grows. So I'll put a link to the free masterclass. I also have a 10-day Voxer for love, sex, biz. That's 1K, and it's a 10-day Voxer 1-to-1 with me. I often forget self-nurturing. So that is your orgasmic challenge, Cinnamon, if you are willing to accept it. Your orgasmic challenge this week is to plan some self-nurturing time for you, just because you deserve it. The end. So I have a 10-day Voxer experience that you can have with me. I'll put the link to the sweet spot in the comments, and you can join that, and I'll put the link to the communication masterclass as well, if anyone else is listening and feels like that would be helpful for them. Okay, that's all for now.